Alright. Okay, nothing there I need. .75 meter docking port and badass thrust plates. Alright. Now, I believe we have a Taurus contract. I know we got one for a flyby of Iota. Yes, with 3 tourists. That I can do. I can do that using my ship that's already there. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Alright. I'm gonna put a space lab on board Iota. Well, sorry, I'm gonna bring a space lab to Iota. Alright. First, I want my lithobrake pod as usual. But in this case, I need a little more to it. I don't need the derp engines on that, because I am going to give this thing a fuel tank. Because this needs a little bit more delta V to get back from Iota. Well, that's a badass ion thruster. I don't need anything that sketchy, though. Yeah, all those engines are way too big. And the Poodle just has too much power. There we go. Perfect. Now, some solar panels. I'll put an RTG on this thing, just because. Whoops. 2 parachutes. Actually, this particular pod doesn't need to dock with anything. I'll put a double set of these anyway, just on general principles. Now I need a separator. Yep. Alright. Now that thing has a giant docking port on the end of it, so I can connect stuff. Okay, I need a proper space station, so none of this shenanigans. Whoa. Put a regular sized docking port here. Couple Gigantors. Some huge ass batteries. Whoops. Yep. No. Oh, whoops. Alright, more solar panels. Now I need some science equipment. So, Thermometer. Satellite. Gravioli. Magnetometer. Microgoo. Multispectral. Orbital telescope. Barometer. RPWS. Oh. Put that down there and then put this over here. No, I don't think I have full scans of IOTA yet, so Holy shit, this is oversized. Yeah, that should be more or less everything I need. The only thing I got left is I'm gonna use some RCS. Oh, I need a service bay. For my top of the lodge command core. Then I'll shove the monoprop storage in here too. Okay, yeah, I don't think that's a very good monopropellant tank. There we go. Now that'll be enough monoprop for all my needs. Now, I'm going to make this connection docking port based. That way, I can put a 3.75 meter propulsion module on this thing. Like a boss. All right. Now, to be thorough with docking ports, I need at least one small docking port. So I can refuel small robotic landers or something. Ah, lag. Now, I'll move these docking ports a bit higher so they're not completely foobarred. Now, where's that RL-10? Because I'm pretty sure that's the engine I want. Okay, I'm gonna need more engines than that. Yeah, I'll just use a penguin, screw it. I can put another fuel tank on this too. It's a bit too big. Whoops, no. Cylinder, gold foil, 3.75 meters. That should be enough. Shove that there. There we go. 4234. So this module theoretically should basically be strong enough to get me to Gale. Now, for some kind of command unit. No, I need some place to put... Do I have mech jeb thingy? Yeah, that's a bit too heavy. And then let's... Oh, that's not radial. Oh well. This module here... Now that has enough fuel to get me to Iota, and then to break me into orbit. That's the key. There we go. Now I can send the Taurus around, leave this in orbit, and then bring this probe back. And then I can send someone else to pick up the scientist later. Alright. Now I gotta get this thing into orbit. How much is this? Oh, only 114 tons. That's manageable. I'm gonna put this whole thing in a fairing, though, because I'm just badass like that. So, space Y. Space Y. 3.575 stack separator. 3.75 meter fairing. Ah, nope. Whoa. Yep, and now I'll detach this after the first stage. Now, what do I have here for mid-lift cryo engines? Where is it? The Yucatan, is it? Yes, Yucatan. That's what I want. Do I need one or two of these? Oh yeah, I'll definitely need two of these. And some more fuel. Let's lift this up a bit. Do I have a 5 meter to 2x375 meter thingy? Interstage? I should have something useful here. 5 meter to 2x2.5. That might work. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. I'll just have to make these compact. Usually compact lets you mount them one size down. Now, 5 meter separator. It's not long enough. What? Do I have a longer version of that anywhere? Close enough. I need a 5 to 7.5. So the easiest way to do that would be to take this and double size it. Yep. I'm gonna definitely be using hydrolocks for this too, because who in their frickin' right mind would be using 300 ISP fuels when I got 400 ISP fuels? Structural now. What do I got down here? Yeah, let's scale this up a bit. Now I need 4 of these Mars engines, which I just unlocked. These guys. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna want 5, not 4. Alright. Do I have a 5? I thought I had a 5 engine block here somewhere. Yes, I do. Holy shit. I just need compact. God dang it, bugs. Now I know what to do for this. Whoa, too much. LH2, 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 and LH2, and then that's nothing. Oh. Yep. Oh. Ouch. Sorry about that, Proddy, and sorry if it's been a delayed answer. I've been kind of engrossed with trying to get this thing designed here. This is I'm sending a space station to orbit Iota. Because I have a contract to send some tourists there anyway. So I figure while I'm there, you know, might as well do something productive. Now, I just need some strap-on boosters to help this get off the ground. So let me just see what I got here for strap-ons. Okay, that looks surprisingly good. 33 tons, 19. I need something pretty big. Like the size of the space shuttle big. Who in their right mind would use carbonite solid rocket boosters? Ah! This is what I need. Let's see. There we go. This is perfect. Space Shuttle Solid Rocket Booster. So this is basically a bootleg version of NASA's Space Launch System, which I designed for shits and giggles. There we go. Now I need some aerodynamics on the top of this. I don't know what diameter these things are, though. Alright, that looks about right. Alright. So this is... Now that I'm getting better parts, notice my rockets are starting to look less ridiculous and more sort of realistic. If I probably should have used a 5-meter fairing base to hide my thing up here, but I don't really have the tech for that. And I'll call this Starbase 1. Ha ha ha. So these are my tourists I need to fly by, their pilot and the scientists, and then I just got this here for living quarters. Alright, save, fix staging. Yep, this should be good. Yeah, no one wants to watch 3 hours straight, so I basically split them from mission goal to mission goal. So like one stream will be designing the rocket and then launching it into the orbit, and then the next one will be like landing on Gratian, and then the next one will be taking off and then getting back. Alright. My rocket, which is... Whoa, that looks wobbly. Why is that wobbly? It really should not be wobbly. Oh well. I'll deal with it. Well, oh wait, there's a problem. VAB size 0, rocket size 1. That's pretty funny, actually. Now, I'm going to try something. Where is IOTA? I'm going to use MechJeb's ascent guidance to get me to launch into the plane of target. So I need to wait 6 hours and 26 minutes. Oh, this will be a night launch. I'm going to lose a little bit of delta. Holy shit. I just warped past it. Let's try that again, shall we? Another 6 hours. 4. 2 hours. And it'll be a daylight launch. All right. 9, 8, 7, 6. Three, 2, 1, and oh, it looks like these solid rocket boosters have a thrust. Alright, well that's all I needed to know from then. Okay, something's wrong here. Yep, I'm glitched. Somehow my rocket is stuck to the... Yeah, okay, it's stuck. I'm not quite sure what it's stuck to, though. Okay. Something is very glitchy there. I have no idea how the heck that worked. Like, they're not touching anything. So, back to the drawing board with respect to those launch clamps. They must have a collision box or something that's bigger. Like, they would let go, but yet they wouldn't let go. Alright. Let me use some better launch clamps. Oh, I want 4 of these. Alright. Now let's try it. Now maybe these things will listen to me. Oh yeah, and I think Twitch is just being assholes with the ad block. Because to be fair, Twitch is a free service, so they kind of need to make money somewhere. Alright. Actually, I'm not going to bother launching into Iota's plane because I want to go into a polar orbit anyway. So it's actually be better if I missed the plane and then did a kind of alley-oop type burn. Oh well. This should work. What the heck is going on? These are definitely stuck to the ground. Oh well. So, I'm going to look at the thrust of these, and when this gets up to full value, now lift off. Alright, that worked much better. Okay, I see you saw something. I'll check that as soon as I stabilize this rocket. Right now, I need to get this thing onto its gravity turn before something... Huh, this is actually running surprisingly fast for something this size. Okay. Oh yeah, I know what you mean with those ads. It's like, yada yada yada, buy this! Yada yada yada, buy this now! And like half the time it's something you either already got or wouldn't use. Like, I got an ad for tampons in the email before, and I'm a single male living by myself at the moment, so I really don't think I'd have much to do with those, but I got an ad for them anyway. I'm pretty sure Ron Jeremy would get those penis enlargement ads. Alright, let's put this on the prograde now. As we crawl up through the atmosphere. Actually, that makes sense. Because if it's absorptive and also can kind of fill in any space, it would be great for getting hemostasis. Because you want to have a little bit of pressure actually inside the wound in order to stop capillary and, I guess, small vessel bleeding. Not everything just gets fixed by a frickin' tourniquet or just by covering it with something. Oh well. Alright, passing through the sound barrier. At about 8,000 meters, just like I think the real space shuttle did that too. fine. Let's... Ugh. Okay, I just told the chat to pop out. I'm gonna see if this works. It didn't do anything. Okay. I might have to configure it or something afterwards. Ah, I see what it does. I think it's trying to load it as a window, which... Okay, I see what's going on here. Holy shit. No, I'm shutting that down, because it's lagging the shit out of my game. It's like, let's see the chat. Bzz, bzz, rocket explodes, game crashes, gale spirals into the sun. Huh. Do you know what? I can get rid of this fairing when I ditch the solids. So I'll be high enough up in the atmosphere that I don't need to worry about so much drag. Because my space station isn't actually that... what would I call it? It's not actually that draggy to begin with. It just has a few science parts sticking out of it, which reasonably should not be exposed to ascent. Alright, I'm going to speed up time a bit until I drop these solids. Yeah, this is going to end up in a somewhat higher orbit, but I'm fine with that. Reasonably, I should be in at least a 200-kilometer parking orbit, otherwise it would decay before my launch window came up. Last thing you want is residual atmospheric drag. Okay, I won't get much above 4G, so the crew should be more or less fine. I'm going to actually to throttle back, though, to spare the crew. They actually did that on the real missions, to keep it under 4 gravities. And solid roster booster burnout. Booster and fairing separation. And now throttle up the main engines. Alright. Now we're being carried by the core stage. And this is what I got. So I got a propulsion module with docking ports, command, solar panels, and reaction wheels. I got a science module that has a probe core and monopropellant in here with reaction thrusters, a bunch of science equipment in the lab, and docking ports, which are kind of invisible, but they're over here somewhere. Yep, I think... Where did I put them? Oh, well, they're there somewhere anyway. And, oh, there it is. Yeah, that's a docking port. And then this is the return vehicle for the tourists. A pod with a service module, and that has an engine hidden in here. Alright, so let's extend our solar panels. I got the docking ports everywhere, because ideally I want to keep all this stuff attached together, and then I can either send other missions up to refuel it later. Maybe send the same thing to SETI or something. It only takes about 1,000 meters per second, I think, to get from Iota to SETI. It's not a lot. But the idea is that's kind of Kerbal space program, like traditionally, right? Instead of just blasting everything into orbit by, like, sheer force of will. Okay, I need to flatten out my trajectory a bit. These engines are way more powerful than I expected them to be. I guess it's because of how heavy those solids were. But that way, instead of having to send, like, science labs up everywhere, I can do docking, rendezvous, crew transfer missions, you know, like permanent space station stuff. Alright, let's speed things up a bit. Alright, we're almost at stage burnout. And core stage burnout. Core stage separation. Now, I'm going to wait about a minute, and then I'm going to ignite my second stage. Alright. 2. At 2 minutes, I'm going to ignite this. Alright. Now this stage will get me to orbit. Alright. When in doubt, keep blasting. Oscillating a bit, nothing's too bad. These engines are pretty good. 20 seconds to apoapse naturally, and I'm about probably a minute from orbit, so I should be fairly circular at the end of this. Whoa. Alright, we're getting pretty close. Alright, almost there. Alright, we are in orbit. Alright, I'm actually going to call it quits for tonight now. I've been on for a while and it's after midnight. But tomorrow, I'm going to get this thing to IOTA and then set up my science base. Alright, thanks for watching and have a good one.